What is up, fellas and lady fellas? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we've got more Yu-Gi-Oh news, more Phantom Rage reveals. I knew Phantom Rage news was coming sooner rather than later because in the OCG they're only like barely over a month away from getting it themselves. So I knew we were gonna get a bunch of their cards revealed. So we have a new archetype, a brand new archetype called the SOUTEN style. Apparently it's about kind of like based off of like martial arts. Really cool design. I haven't read any of these cards yet, so let's just jump into it together, all right. Starting off here, we have our Yubi of the SOUTEN Fist. By the way, they already give me vibes of like tennis, sort of like Monk and Berserker. So like, dope. I love tennis. Anyway, this is Yubi of the SOUTEN Fist. This is a level 4 light warrior effect monster. Great credentials there. Warrior, so Rhoda's good. Light is a great attribute. 1800 attack, 1000 defense. It's a beater as well. You can only use this card's first and second effects if it's once per turn each. First effect, you can target one SOUTEN monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, add one SOUTEN spell from your deck to your hand. Okay. Second effect, if a face-up SOUTEN fusion monster or monsters you control was fusion summoned by using an effect monster or monsters is destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect, and this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. So pretty much if just one of the fusions is destroyed after it's been fusion summoned, you just get to add him back to your hand, assuming you used him as material. That's pretty nice recovery, honestly. We will see how good he is. It'll be based off of what kind of spells you're able to add with this, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. We also have another card, Kukoku of the SOUTEN Kicks. So he's based on like kicking style, like that. He's a level 3 light warrior effect monster with 800 attack, 2000 defense. Both of his effects are hard once per turn, and they read as follows. First effect, if a SOUTEN monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect during your opponent's turn, you can special summon this card from your hand, then apply this effect. Destroy one SOUTEN monster you control, and if you do, special summon one SOUTEN fusion monster from your extra deck. And the second effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one SOUTEN trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, so first and foremost, I was worried that the first effect was a little too conditional, a little too slow, but the second effect kind of makes up for it. If you're going first, you just normal summon this and you add a trap. We'll see what the traps do, but I'm assuming they do something decent, or hoping at least. And then as far as the first effect goes, I think it's nice. So if it's any SOUTEN monster is just destroyed during your opponent's turn, you can special summon him and then also destroy a monster to drop a fusion immediately, right? So, unfortunately, our Yubi does not destroy himself as a quick effect. So he doesn't destroy himself during your opponent's turn. We'll have to see what other kind of, if any of the other cards can kind of help set that up. But let's go ahead and see where we end up there, because we start out with some of the fusion monsters, okay? But good start. I think those are two good monsters. One searches spells, one searches traps. We'll see how they go. Next up, we have Gaia of the SOUTEN Fist. He's a level 6 light warrior fusion effect, 2100 attack, 1500 defense. He takes 2 SOUTEN monsters, pretty standard. You can only use this card's name's first effect once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Also, this card cannot attack directly for the rest of this turn. Second effect, while you control a SOUTEN fusion monster that was fusion summoned using an effect monster or monsters as material, SOUTEN fusion monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense. Okay, so I think I see where they're going here. When they say specifically, it sounds like a weird wording. When it says they have to be summoned by like, if they're summoned by an effect monsters as materials, when you drop them by just like his effect, like how you just like get a free fusion out of the extra deck, that doesn't count as using those. So this is like, if you have to use his effect to kind of like jank them out real quick, you don't get the bonus effects. But if you summon them normally, you do get the bonus effects. Okay, so you get a little buff. But the main thing is like, if you can summon him on your opponent's turn, you could just get a quick pop of an attack position monster. Most monsters are going to be attack position, so like that's pretty decent disruption. And then just removal, you can just make him pop a card. I'll take it. You can't attack directly that turn, so like that's kind of a bummer, but it could be worse. All right, moving on. Our next card is Gaiun of the SOUTEN Kicks, a level 5 light warrior fusion effect monster with 1700 attack, 2100 defense. Again, takes 2 SOUTEN monsters, and you can only use a second effect once per turn. First effect reads, if a SOUTEN fusion monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy one other SOUTEN monster you control instead. Okay, not the greatest, but I guess it depends how, we'll see how like easy it is to spam multiple of these guys out at the same time. Second effect reads, during the main phase, if you control a SOUTEN fusion monster that was fusion summoned using an effect monster as material, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Okay, I mean, it's just kind of like an impermanence on extra deck monsters, not the worst. And I'm assuming it includes itself, so if it was also summoned via like normal fusion ways, it would get that impermanence effect. So that's a disruption. That's like a guaranteed disruption without having to set up like this guy in hand and stuff. So I'll take it. I think it's fine. This one's I like the other one I think a little bit more, but this one's still okay. It is technically instant fusionable as well, which is important to keep in mind. And then we move to our real boss monster. This is the Heavenly General of the SOUTEN, Kongo. He's a level 8 light warrior fusion effect monster with 3,000 attacks, 1,700 defense, so those big stats. He takes specifically UB of the SOUTEN Fist plus 2 more SOUTEN monsters, so really hefty fusion requirements. You can only use this card's third effect once per turn, but the other 2 are not. Well, hard ones per turns. First effect, if this card attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of damage step. Okay, we'll see if there are other effects that matters with specifically, but okay. Second effect, at the end of damage calculation that this card attacked, you can return one monster your opponent controls to the hand. I like that. You just attack and you immediately get a quick bounce. Really nice. I like that. And the third effect, when a spell or trap card or effect that targets this card on the field is activated and you control 2 or more fusion monsters, quick effect, you can negate its activation. Okay, that one's a little more costly. Like, not costly necessarily, but like requirements-wise, it's kind of tough. You gotta have 2 fusions on the field, and then all it negates is a spell or trap. Not just any spell or trap, it has to be a spell or trap that is targeting him. I feel like that's way too specific. Not only do you have to have another fusion on field, but it has to be a spell or trap, not even monster effects, which are going to be the main effects that are going to be targeting you, and it has to be targeting. Okay, I think he's fine. I mean, he's big, he has some protection, he has like a battle phase bounce effect. It's cool, alright? I don't think he's crazy good, though. I think he's fine. Alright, and then we move to the spells and traps, which is where the deck will be made if we're going to make it anywhere. So first off here we have SOUTEN Calling, a normal spell. You can only activate 1 per turn. That effect reads, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon as many SOUTEN Spirit tokens. Okay. Warrior Light, level 2, 0/0, as possible to your field. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, except for fusion monsters. You cannot tribute tokens you control, and all tokens you control are destroyed during the end phase. Then you can apply this effect up to 2 times. Fusion summon 1 SOUTEN fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control or have in your hand as materials. Okay, so this is where we see like it all come to fruition. This is like where this is all like put together, right? Because this card really does everything. All you have to do is discard a card, and then you're going to get 5 tokens potentially if you didn't do anything else, and then you could just like fuse twice, and both of these just take 2 monsters, right? So you could just immediately go like Gaia plus Goon, whatever. Immediately. She's an impermanence. Oh, but she wouldn't be live. I don't know. So there's like other. Okay, I'm missing some stuff here, but I think it's really powerful because you do just get to like fusion summon twice 2 monsters immediately. Still pretty strong. Interesting. Okay, then we have a field spell. This is 2 as 1 field spell card. You can only activate 1 per turn, and the second effect is a hard once per turn as well. When this card is activated, you can add 1 SOUTEN monster from your deck to your hand. If we've seen it once, we've seen it 1,000 times. Gotta love a field spell that adds your archetype to your hand. It makes this deck much more consistent because this deck was pretty much just based around 2 main deck monsters that were pretty much only searchable by Rhoda. So now you have, instead of 7 copies, technically like 11 copies of them, which is pretty good. Okay, Second effect, if you control a SOUTEN effect monster, I don't know, like the one you searched, you can special summon one SOUTEN spirit token. It's again a level 2/0/0 token. Also, you cannot special summon from your archetype the rest of this turn except for fusions. We will take that all day. You get a search for a monster, that's a +1, and you get a token once you get that monster on field for a technically +2. I like this card. This will be really good for consistency as well as just getting the deck where it wants to go, meeting its like playable requirements. Next up, we have SOUTEN Exorcism, a quick play spell. Love the artwork on this; looks really dope. Obviously, another hard one's return. This card reads: target one SOUTEN monster you control and one card your opponent controls. Destroy them. Then, if you destroyed a SOUTEN fusion monster you control, you can apply one of these effects: draw one card or banish one card from your opponent's graveyard. Honestly, that's nice because one of the monsters searches you a spell and the other one searches you a trap. And so, like, if you only had access to the one that searches spells, this still gets you a disruption. Potential, not just a disruption, but potentially a disruption that one pops a card on your opponent's field and also banishes a card from their graveyard. Or you draw. If there's nothing really worthwhile banishing in graveyard, you're just like, I'll take a draw. I'll just replace the card the cards I just lost. And then we've already seen the effects that get you bonus stuff just from when you destroy your own card, so that's pretty nice as well. I think this card's nice. I think this is definitely a playable card. And then we finish up with our last two traps. SOUTEN Returns is our first one. I can already guess what this card's going to do. It's a normal trap. You can only activate one with this card's name per turn. That effect reads: target one SOUTEN monster in your graveyard as cost. Yep. Special summon it. Then, if you special summon a monster with an original level of 4 or less, you can special summon also a SOUTEN spirit token. Okay, like, you could have guessed SOUTEN Returns was going to be some kind of in-archetype called Haunted. It's exactly that. It's searchable, but it's also a normal trap, and so is the next one. So if they're both decent, maybe this is like a trap trick playable deck. Maybe you just play Trap Trick, get extra utility, or maybe you play Lilith. You only have 2 actual monsters in your deck, so getting access to these could actually be pretty interesting. But yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, it's like a recovery card. I'm into it. And the next effect is SOUTEN's Duty, a normal trap card that you can only activate once per turn as well. This card reads: during the main phase, banish one SOUTEN spell or trap from your graveyard except for another copy of itself. This card's effect becomes that card's effect when it activates. Sorry, I'm blubbing. Okay, so it's kind of like what is it? Spellbook of the Masters or whatever, the one spellbook card that like copies one engraved by banishing it. I think this is fine. It's a trap, so it's a little slow for sure, but it does become a quick effect, which is actually like kind of crazy because you could just like, I don't know how this works with like the field spell. If you like banished the, oh no, the field spell's not even a SOUTEN card, so you'd have to be banishing like Calling. So you could either just quickly get like another reincarnation, like a reborn, the pop and potentially banish or draw, or the fusion card. The utility's there a little bit, and keep in mind, guys, in the next core set or in future sets after this, we should be getting a little more support for this archetype to really flesh it out a little more. So this is just the opening start. I think this card's a little lackluster, a little slow, and until we have like, I don't know, maybe I would say better stuff. I guess this is a nice follow-up play to like use the fusion card again. That's kind of nice, but other than that, I don't think it's that crazy. But overall, I think it's nice. Is it meta? No. With this start, it definitely will not be meta. But I do think it's a nice start. You have nice searchability with the field spell that searches the monsters, and both monsters search something. This guy searches your spells. This guy searches your traps. Your fusion monsters are a little lackluster, honestly. If these are supposed to be your boss monsters, I wish they were a little stronger. Maybe we'll see. Maybe it's just one of those archetypes where your boss monsters aren't actually that strong, but you support them with other solid cards, like the spell. I think the quick play spell is really solid. I think this card by itself, essentially just with a discard, gets you at least 2 fusions on field. We'll take that all day for sure. And yeah, I wish like one of the traps was actual disruption. That would be really nice because the deck definitely seems like it's lacking disruption. The spell is okay. The 2 smaller fusions have okay disruption effects, but nothing crazy, right? So I guess we'll have to see where that goes. But I think it's a nice start, honestly. I think they look dope. I think there's a lot of potential here just because of like the searchability and the few power cards that are here. And yeah, I think there's a bright future for this deck. So guys, as always, let me know your thoughts down below on this new SOUTEN archetype. I think it looks really cool. Hopefully you guys are digging it like I am. And yeah, so let me know your comments down below and what you think on that. And I guess I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.